In this video, we explore the regulations that TUSLA early years inspectors refer to when inspecting a school-age service. All school-age providers must be familiar with Regulations 7 to 13, and if requested during an inspection, school-age providers must provide documentation and evidence that demonstrate adherence to the regulations. Whilst each regulation should be treated with equal importance, for the purposes of this video, we'll explore Regulations 7 to 13 in order. Please note that not all regulations may be looked at during the course of a single inspection. The school-age regulations can be found on the TUSLA website, and a link to the regulations will be provided at the end of this video. The first regulation we will explore is change in circumstance. Where you've made any of the following changes to your service, you must be ready to demonstrate to TUSLA's early years inspector that you notified TUSLA in writing 60 days prior to the change. The next regulation is vetting disclosures. As a registered provider, you must make certain that each employee is suitable and competent to meet the needs of the children in your service. This means ensuring that every worker, including unpaid staff and contractors, are Garda or police vetted prior to being appointed or being allowed access to or contact with a child attending your service. During inspection, you may also be asked to provide the following documentation for each employee and 2 validated references, one of which should be from their most recent employer. Where the worker has not been previously employed, then references from a reputable source is acceptable. A reputable source should be a highly regarded, well thought of and respected person who is independent, unbiased and not a family member. An employment history, such as a CV and identification, is also required. You can find out more about vetting disclosures on the TUSLA website. Next, the early years inspectors may review the staffing levels in your service. TUSLA's early years inspectors will observe to see if the school-aged children are appropriately supervised during inspection. To ensure that you're compliant with the regulation, you must make sure that there is a ratio of at least 1 staff member to a maximum of 12 children at all times whilst your service is operating. During the inspection, TUSLA's early years inspectors will count the number of children on the premises and may review the attendance register. They may also ask staff about the hours they are rostered to work that day. Where your service is being operated single-handedly and in the event of an emergency, you must ensure that a second person who is familiar with the service is close by and available to provide assistance to the person in charge. The early years inspector will ask you who that person is and how far away they are from the service. Regulation 10 relates to the policies that you must have in place for your school-age service, and these include the following. During an inspection, TUSLA's early years inspectors will check that each policy provides adequate guidance and, where relevant, outlines a specific procedure to be followed. Schedule 6 of the School Age Regulations provides additional information on what should be included in each of your policies. If you need assistance in developing or updating your policies, you can ask your local childcare committee or review the National Quality Guidelines for School-Age Childcare Services. Regulation 11 refers to your school-age premises. Under this regulation, TUSLA's early years inspectors will check that children have daily access to an outdoor space, either on the premises or nearby, such as a local schoolyard, green space or park. As a provider, you must be able to evidence that both your premises and any vehicle used to transport children is adequately insured. The final regulation we will explore relates to complaints. Under Regulation 13, TUSLA's early years inspectors will review your complaints policy to see if it clearly outlines the procedures for making a complaint and informing the complainant of the stage of any ongoing complaints. Where there is an ongoing complaint, the inspector will ask for evidence of the written record of the complaint and proof that the complainant is being dealt with in accordance with your policy. This brings us to the end of this video. You can access the TUSLA website and the Department of Equality, Children, Disability, Integration and Youth for further information about the regulations and TUSLA's Early Years Inspectorate. Thanks for watching.